Sup everyone, this is Draco Evolve and today's video is the first game of our season, Manchester United versus Chelsea match preview. So I'll be going through my predicted lineup, which you can see on the right side of your screen, and I'll be going through some stats, and I'll be going through like each squad, especially the opposition squad, because as United fans we know what our squad is. So let's have a look at the opposition and see where the danger is potentially. But in saying that, let me just close this window and open up. Let's dive straight into the match lineup that I feel United will start off with. I think it's not going to be a 4-2-3-1. I did see some reports and some predictions of you guys that saying it's 4-2-3-1. I don't believe it's going to be a 4-2-3-1. I do believe it is going to be a 4-3-3 formation. And the back four is a given, let's not even discuss there. David De Gea in goal. Maguire's I reckon he's gonna play, even though he didn't partake in any of our pre-season matches, but he has played a lot of, not a lot, but he has played enough of Leicester's pre-season matches, which means that he will be match sharp, and I am sure that behind the scenes he's probably being tested, run through. And to be honest with you, he's not a foreign player who's coming into the league for the first time. He knows the league, so Maguire for me starts. He has to start. And I think the hardest of the back four will be who's gonna partner Maguire. Obviously, Chris Smalling is probably a potential candidate, but I reckon it's gonna be Lindelof. And the only reason I say that is because he's had a very good season for us, albeit a poor season for us overall, but he was one of our standout performers, and he is maturing and growing into the role. So I reckon for the future it's going to be Maguire, Lindelof, going to be in partnership. I think, but in my prediction, I think it's going to be Lindelof definitely starting. Left back is a given. It's going to be Luke Shaw, and on the right back, what can I say? It's going to be Wan-Bissaka. He's had a fantastic preseason, and so far he's looking like a real deal for us. He's going to be a fantastic signing, and I think he's going to be one of our star players. Obviously, Dalot is also there challenging for him for the position, but I reckon it's going to be Wan-Bissaka, only due to the fact that how impressive he was, winning various matches across our preseason. But anyway, this is our back four, well, back five if you want to include the goalkeeper. Midfield was a bit of a tough one. Obviously Pogba is our best midfielder, best outfield player out there. I reckon he's going to play. I do understand that he had a back problem, he had a bit of an injury and niggle, but I think he's definitely going to play. And it's going to be quite strange to see whether he played the full 90 minutes and how he performs. So far from what we've seen in the preseason, in all the matches, he has been phenomenal, and I just hope that attitude stays. But I reckon on the left side of that midfield is going to be Paul Pogba. The other two was a bit of a dilemma, isn't it? I do believe Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is going to stick with an experienced midfielder, no matter how much of a decline he is in. It's going to be Matic, I reckon, as a holding midfielder. I don't see anyone else. I mean, McTominay can fit in there, but I do have McTominay next to him. So I reckon it's going to be that, like a midfield three of Pogba, Matic, McTominay. I don't believe Pereira will start. McTominay had a very good preseason. He looks like a real deal. Pereira is not going to, let's face it, Pereira is not going to start ahead of Matic. I think the experience, we need the experience in the team. And we'll come back to the philosophy and how he is, how I feel he'll fit into the team a bit later on. Up front, it's going to be Martial as a number 9 striker. The reason I say that is because he's been given officially the number 9 striker's number, isn't it? So where does number 9 play? Up front. And I think he's going to be he's going to have a good time. I reckon he's going to show everyone this season what he's capable of. I reckon if he gets a bit of consistency going, he'll be fantastic. I think a few years ago when Zlatan came in and he was stripped of that number 9, he was upset. I mean, he changed his Twitter handle from number 9 to nothing, and he was upset. He was visibly upset. He wants to be the club's number 9. But I reckon he's going to be our number 9. Now, left side of that attacking trio, I reckon it's going to be Rashford cutting in and obviously shooting for the right foot. It's going to be a lot of pace. And the one on the went on the right is James. I reckon James will genuinely start. He's had a very good pre-season. Whether he'll play the full 90 minutes, I highly doubt it. But he's had a very good pre-season in my opinion. Lingard had a poor pre-season. I think Lingard will swap out for James at some point in the game because he's still young, he's still developing, he's coming up against the first Premiership game against Chelsea. Is going to be 90 minutes is going to be a bit much for him, but I reckon he will be our secret weapon. But anyway guys, this is my predicted formation and my predicted lineup for the Manchester United versus Chelsea game in the Premiership. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Do you think that we will be playing this formation, or do you think we're going to be trying out a different formation, the 4-2-3-1 that we've been clearly playing over the preseason, or the 4-3-3? The reason I reckon it will be 4-3-3 because Chelsea is a good team. It's simple as that. They've got a decent defense. They've got a very good midfield. The striking is probably a bit suspect. So looking at Chelsea, let me just get rid of this. Looking at Chelsea's squad, so obviously we know that Barkley is most likely to play. They did lose David Luiz, but I reckon Christensen will be stepping up this year with Kurt Zouma. Marcus Alonso is going to be available, and Azpilicueta, the captain, I believe. So I reckon it's going to be it's a strong back four. It's an experienced back four, especially with Alonso and Azpilicueta in there, and coupled with the fact that Kepa, not sure about him, not too sure about him. But in the midfield, that's where they're kind of strong, where they kind of edge us. Conte, there are there are news coming out that he's not fully fit, so he might miss out. It'll be fantastic for us if that's the case, but I reckon he will end up playing. And Jorginho, again, another great midfielder, good midfielder. They've got Kovacic, which they've signed, and Ross Barkley in there as well, so they've got a bit of pace in that midfield, a bit of energy in that midfield. And someone like Matic with say Ross Barkley running at him will struggle. In terms of striking position, that's where I don't really, I don't really rate them at all, and that's where I feel that's where we're gonna win the game. Again, I'll wait for my prediction, but they've got Oliver Giroud, not that great. You got William and Pedro and Pulisic. That's literally their. Obviously, they got Batshuayi on loan, I believe, and Callum Hudson-Odoi is injured. That front 2-3 does not frighten anyone. Giroud is pretty much past there. He's 32 years old, another season in. Pedro and William, they're 32 and 31 respectively. They just got a bit of pace. I don't think they will cause us enough problems, especially considering the fact that our defense is 10 times better. In fact, on paper, our defense looks one of the best defense in the Premier League. So I don't think they'll cause us that much problem. Looking into the stats, so you got some stats on the screen on the left side. I'll read them out to you. So United have won 2 of the last 13 league meetings with Chelsea, 6 draws, 5 defeats. Man United have lost more Premier League games, 18, and conceded more Premier League goals, 71, against Chelsea than they have against any other team. But this is a different Chelsea. This is a Chelsea that doesn't have a great front line and an inexperienced manager. Yes, Lampard did a fantastic job when they knocked us out with Derby, but I think at that time we were in a very dark space, extremely dark position there. It's a bit different with Oli at the wheel, you could say. But yeah, I mean, 6 in the last 13 Premier League games, it's not the best. 5 defeats, 6 draws. But they have lost Hazard, who's a fantastic player himself, one of the best in the world. They're without him. So, and in terms of Chelsea have only lost 1, Burnley at home in 2017 of their last, or our last one, I'm not supposed to say their last, 20 opening weekend fixtures in the Premier League, 16 wins, 3 draws. So they have a very good weekend opening fixtures in the Premier League. My predicted scoreline is, I genuinely believe it's going to be 2-0 to Manchester United. I do believe that it's going to be a tough game. It's not going to be an easy game, but our defense is so solid, and the striking, the attack is so weak. They're going to, I think, dominate a little bit in the midfield area, but their defense is aging, and especially Aspilicueta. And if we can get James, who's a speed merchant, Rashford and Marshall on their case, with so much pace going there, and I reckon we're gonna, and especially when we're at home, we're gonna do one over to them. The last time we did meet them is in the Premier League in the 28th of April of this year. At home, we did draw 1-1 with them. The last win we had against them was the FA Cup game in February, isn't it? 2-0 we won, and we absolutely destroyed them. Like, Jesus Christ, that game was one of the best games that United played. They were all over Chelsea. They absolutely destroyed them. The last two Premier League games, last seasons, the two times that we've met, obviously we can only meet two times. We've drawn, so it was 1-1 and 2-2. The last time we won against him in the Premier League was 2-1 in February of 2018. In recent records, it's a bit of a last 5 games, 2 draws, 1 defeat, 1 win for us in the last 2 draws, 1 defeat, 2 wins for us in the last 5 games in all competitions against Chelsea. The thing is we're closing the gap on them a little bit. We definitely have closed the gap on them a lot more than last season, especially considering our defense is much stronger and the attack is very weak. That's my thought. I think it's going to be 2-0 to Manchester United. I think Oli will galvanize the team, especially considering the fact that the team, the board and himself came under a lot of questions in regards to transfer activities. So I reckon he'll have a point to prove, and I hope that people, like, if he does go down the youth route, which he has to now, you look at the top outside of this top 11, we have a lot of youth players. We didn't sign anyone. I think they're going to be given a chance, and the likes of Tai Chong, Greenwood, Angel Gomez will be fantastic. They'll be given a lot of chance throughout the season, and that is the biggest positive I reckon going into the new season, is the fact that we're going to give youth a chance, and they have to learn on the job. Really, they're not going to come in a ready-made great team. This team is very poor overall, but they're going to have to learn on the job, and it will test them a lot. I would love to see how they react to it. We look at the under-21 game that happened a couple of days back. Tahith Chong wasn't involved, Angel Gomez wasn't involved, and Mason Greenwood wasn't involved. So it's clear to me that they're going to be in the bench at least. And I reckon we're going to see a couple of cameos coming in, especially from Greenwood. I reckon he'll definitely come on, and he's got that kid is fantastic, isn't he? He's got a great 2 foot as well. But anyway, this was my prediction. I predict that it's going to be 2-0 to Manchester United, but not a 2-0 comfortable win. I reckon it's going to be more of a difficult win, considering the fact that Chelsea have a good record against us, considering the fact that Chelsea, lost 1 in the last 20 opening league fixtures. It's going to be a tough game, but I reckon we'll have enough firepower overall going forward to kill them off. Considering the fact also that they've lost Hazard, their front line looks aging and poor, and with our defense being our strongest assets in the team, I reckon it's going to be a fantastic game to watch. Probably not going to be the most technical game to watch, because Pogba aside in our team, in that midfield, Matic is pretty slow. Jorginho on their side, you're not going to see a slick fluidity from both teams, I reckon, much like you see with Man City and Liverpool to some extent. But it's gonna be a tough game for us. But I genuinely believe 2-0 to us. And that's it, guys. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. What's your prediction? Do you think this lineup is the correct lineup? Who would you take out? Who would you replace? And what formation do you think will play? And what's your prediction, really? And if you're new to the channel, guys, this is a channel about sports, football, considering Manchester United, and a bit of gaming as well. Again, FIFA contents next, etc. So it's a very sporty channel, and I'm going towards that direction. And hope you guys, I'll do the match reviews, I'll do the match previews, I'll do analysis, I'll do transfer speculation, etc. So hit the sub button to stay up to date, and hit the notification button. And as always, guys, I catch you guys in the next time in my match review, and stay farafari.